Chav Zayin, Pachas Yoser. The Hemshich in Shin Chav Ches, we're going to see, is very much a Hemshich in Shin Chav Zayin. And Shin Chav Ches, Sif Gimel Baker, but the whole Shin Chav Ches we're going to start on Sunday, it'll be my Mekayim Bez Hashem, is all the Inyanim of Shlichus. And Azoivi Dov Shalom Ba'Olam is a problem with Gabi the Etzma Frosha, that's what we're going to discuss today, the problems of being mafresh before Gilgul, before Sinas Mayim, Afilu. So this is also a problem with Mina Shlichus. I'm going to mention today the Tosis and Nazir. That's one of the main Marmakaimis, is the Tosis and Nazir and Daf Yud Beis, where Rebbeinu Tam describes the problem. How could it be that Noshim give other Noshim Kemach, and they tell them to go be mafresh from the Kemach after their Losh? Harei Tzlei B'Olam. It's very chashuv Tosis. The going by us brings the Tosis. We'll get into that a little bit today. So that's Shin Chav Ches. Shin Chav Tes we did. After that, we're going to be Mamshech to Shin Lamed. And after that, we'll go back and be Mashlim the other Simanim we didn't do yet. Hopefully have time for Chazara, some Chaburas. So Shin Chav Zayin brings us to the question of from when is the Chalois Chiyuv Challah? From when are you Mechuyev to be Mafresh Challah? When is the Isser Tevel Chal? And from when could you be Mafresh Challah? Is there a Zman that you could be Mafresh Challah even though you're not Mechuyev to be Mafresh Challah? And it's basically based on two Mishnayos. We have the Mishnah in Beis Hey and the Mishnah in Reish Perek Gimel. So the Mishnah in Perek Beis, Halachei Mafresh Chalasei Kemach Eino Challah. So it's Mavur in the Mishnah that you can't be Mafresh from Kemach. Kemach is just the flour itself. That Hafrasha is garnished up the Mishnah. It's telling some kind of Gzeiras and Marasayin. If you actually take off the Kemach and give it to a Kohen, what's the din of the Kemach? Well, the Maisa, his Truma is not a Truma and his Challah is not a Challah. Zok all the Rishonim. Why? Because Reish Arisa Seichem. The Torah says that the Chiyuv Challah comes only Tarimu the Reish Arisa Seichem, only when you start the Arisa, which is the Tchilas HaGilgul, which is Gilgul HaIsa, Timtum HaSa'orim. And but without that, it's Dam Garnish Katan, and it's not Challah. So when is Challah? Like the Rishonim say here, the Reish Arisa Seichem. So where and when does the Reish Arisa Seichem start? So that's the Mishnah in Perek Gimel Mishnah Aleph. Gilgul HaBachitim. Once you do Gilgul on the Chitim, Oichel Men Chayiv Misa. So that's the Pashtus. We have Kemach, which is the raw state of flour. That's garnished. It's not Chayiv and Tevel. And you can eat from it. Chutz from maybe Gzeira. And there's no Mitzvah Challah, Michad Gisu. Idach Gisa, we have Gilgul and Timtum, which is the actual production of the dough, of the Isa. And that's when you have Tevel and you Chayiv Challah. The problem starts with the Mishnah over there in Reish Perek Gimel. With the Mishnah Fir Zois, Michad Gisa Gilgul Abachitim Oichel Men Chayiv Misa. You need Gilgul, which is the Etzem Lisha. Mishnah Fir Zois Kivon Shino Senes Hamayim. Once the Isha pours in the Mayim, it sounds like this middle darga, not Kemach Alein, but not Gilgul, just Senes Hamayim. Magbas Chalasa Ulvad Shlo Yehei Sham Chamish Revi Kemach. That's just an issue of this year. So it's mashma. There's some kind of a middle darga of Nesinas Mayim. That it's Shayach Hafrashas Challah just when there's Sinas Mayim. Is that Gilgul? Is that not Gilgul? Mayhai. So we mentioned that the Rishonim in Perek Beis Mishnah Hey, where the Mishnah says very clearly that you can't take off Challah Kodim Isa, meaning from Kemach. So the Rishonim will say because Reish Arisa Seichem. So since it's not Chayiv, since you don't have the Chayvas Challah and the Isser Tevel, so it's not Shayach Hafrashas Challah. So the Rishonim were all bothered. Talking about the Rishonim on the page, meaning the first Rishonim, the Rash, the Rosh, the Perish, Marim, Ben Malki Tzedek. So they're all bothered that the it's not true. We know by Trumas and Maisros, even before the Chayvas Trumas and Maisros, and before the Isser Tevel, there's this man that you could be mafresh even before the Zman Chiyav, which is Hiktam B'Shibolin. We know by Trumas and Maisros, but Etzem the Chiyav and the Isser Tevel is not Chal until the Gemar Malacha. You need the Gidol of the Trumas and Maisros, you need the Havas Shlish, and you need Miruach, you need the Gemar Malacha. And only then is there an Isser Tevel. So before that, but the Gemara's, the Mishnah's before, and the Gemara's before, that's Gemara Kedushin, Hiktam B'Shibolin, if you preempt the Hafrash Trumas and Maisros, it works. So Factor Rishonim, just like by Trumas and Maisros, you can be makdim Hafrash Trumas and Maisros before this Man Chiyuv. So who had in, and they're betzim asking even on Kemach. Who had in by Kemach, why can't you be mafresh? It's like Hiktam B'Shibolin. That's the Rishonim's kasha. It's all Toich Kedei. Zok Derash, the Reish Seichem Ktiv, Afal Pishu Truma Meiser Kach B'Shibolin, Hasam Rabbi Kra. There we have a special Jeres HaKosev Kedeberashti in Trumas. The Rosh says the same thing. Afal Gav Trumas Meiser Kach B'Shibolin, Shiny Hasam the Rabbi Kra. So all they say is, L'chayr should be the same thing as Trumas and Meiser. Kamashman, it's not the same as Trumas and Meiser. So it sounds like it's a special Geras HaKosav by Trumas Maisis. It's not Shaykh by Challah. Kachi Heim Divrei Arash Rosh. That's the mashma most of the Perish Mishayis in the Rambam. Fine. Now in Kedushin and Daf Mem Vav, it really comes from the Ramban, and it's actually Mefurish in the Ramban. The Ramban, the Girsos, is a little difficult, and from the Tchilas Divrei Ramban to the Soif Divrei Ramban, it's a little difficult to understand. He seems to change his mind halfway through, but Ein Sham, the Ramban, Rashba, Ritva, all bring this Mahalach. And the Ritva Batzim quotes it B'Shem Tosfos. He says, Tosfos says, because the Gemara over there quotes this halacha. Now they take up in Kemach. So, frekt the Rishonim, why not? Hektim Mishibolim. So they quote B'Shem, the Ritva quotes B'Shem Tosfos, B'Shem some other Rishonim. There is a Shita, and that's what we see in the Rishonim by us, in the Mepharshim Mishnayos by us, the Rishonim, that there is such a Shita, that's it, that's the answer. Shiny, Truma, Mechalim. Because there's a Gzeres HaKosav. Frekt the Ramban, but Tarimu. Challah is also Truma. So Nilmud, why can't we learn Challah, that says Challah of Truma of Challah from Truma of Trumas Maisis, from Peiros and Tvua? Hare, it's also Truma. So Maishna. So if you have a Giloi that something's true by Truma, so who didn't be true by Challah? That's the Rishonim's Kasha Ramban Rash Brita. So the Ramban is Machadish, Murdik Chiddush, that in the Chanami, the MS. It's not correct what these Rishonim are saying. That's what's more in the Ritva. He brings a shita that just says shiny truma, and the Ramban goes on and says, no, that's incorrect to say shiny truma. It's not shiny truma. It's the same exact thing as Challah. So you think you have a din of hiktim b'shibolim? No problem. We have a din of hiktim b'shibolim also. So you can be mafresh from kamach then, because that's Rishonim's kasha. In Beis Hey, why can you be mafresh from kamach? Zok the Rishonim's first Ramban, Rash, Ritva, there's 3 dargas. Just like by truma we find, there's 3 dargas. We have koidem havas shlish. If you're makdim to be mafresh Trumas Maisis before it's even maybe shlish, at that shlav, that's like nothing. That's not yotzei b'chal. After it's maybe shlish, but kodim gmar malacha, it's not tevel yet. You don't have to be mafresh Trumas Maisis, but it could be. That's hikdim b'shibolim that we darshan from Maisim and a Maiser. And then finally, after gmar malacha is the 3rd dag where it's chiyav gomer. Says the Ramban, hein advarim by Challah. When you have kemach bilvad, that's like kodim havas shlish. So that's the answer to the question. In a Chanami, Truma is like Challah is like Truma. But Kodim Avah Shlish doesn't work, that's Kemach also. What's the middle Darga? That's the Mishnah in Perek Gimel. Kivan she... Nesenes Esamayim? Kivan she Nesenes Esamayim, Agbas Chalasa. That's the middle Darga, where it's not yet Gilgal. And L'char, that's what Shtickle sounds like. It's not Mamish Gilgal. Nesenes Esamayim sounds like it's just the mixing in of the water without Gilgal. That's the middle Darga where it's Hiktim B'Shibolim. Where in a Chanami, you could eat Arai. And if you eat B'Toras Keva, it's a question what happens. Maybe like Trumas Maisis, maybe not like Trumas Maisis. That's the Shai and the Rishonim. Piskei Challah and the Rashba has a nidun about that. But Lamaisa, it's the same din of Trumas Maisis, that it's that middle Darga where you're not Chai, but you could be Mafresh, Hiktim B'Shibolim. And then after you're Megalgel and Metamtim B'Seoirim, that's when you have the final chiyuv of Oichel Memenu Chayiv Misa, and that's the Gemar Malacha of the Gilgal of the Isa. So maybe the Gemar Malacha by Trumas Maisis. So you have 3 Dargas in Shalom Yisrael.
What were you just specific about? In the case of the middle
No,
Darga,
I'm just saying like this. In the middle Darga, there's a din of Hiktim B'Shibolim.
Kiviyas.
So the halacha is Sai by Trumas Maisis and Sai by Challah. That's our Mishnah. You're allowed to eat Arai, but not Keva. The Rashba learns that by Trumas Maisis, Piskei Challah points out, by Trumas Maisis, the halacha is if you eat Keva, das Halein is Kaveh L'may Trumas Maisis. That Halein is a Mechayim. Pashas V'Derabanan. So it's mashma from the Yerushalmi that doesn't apply to Challah. It's only haram. The question is why? That's a big nidam. I don't want to. That's a separate nidam. Okay. So we have these 3 daggers, and that would be the pshat in this Mishnah of mitzad echad. The Mishnah is saying that you're allowed to eat arai achin is galgel bechitim. It's not Mitzrayim. Gilgul bechitim. That's a shas gilgul. And the sina samaya, which is that middle darga where it's azovi hiktim b'shibam. That's like the darga of havas shlish koidem gemar malach. So azoi. Chutz from the fact that it's murder chiddush, and we'll get a little bit more into the concept of this chiddush. The fact that mitzad echad the Ramban saying a double bashut because it is truma and this is truma. But l'char to compare kemach to tvua kodim shevi shlish is a chiddush atzum, because tvua kodim shevi shlish is tvua kodim shevi shlish. It's tvua. And the Torah is mechayev trumas ma'asos on gidulei haaretz and tfuas haaretz. That's what grows from the ground. So kodim shevi shlish is a shear. It's a very very stark shear. So it doesn't even work. And you can't be able to design anything. Mashenk and kemach has nothing to do with challah. L'char kemach is just a garnish. Reish Secha means the Torah is mechayev you a special halacha when you make isa, but not on kemach, not on tvua, Okay, so we'll get back to that. That's a Mardik Chiddush. But Lamais, what's before in the Rishonim is that this is a Machlokes. The Ritva says clearly he's coming Lafuke, a certain Tosafos that he had, and the Lamais, the Mefarshim Mishnais on the page by us, don't say that. They're not mamshich with the whole shtickle Torah that, no, really Chal and Truma are the same thing, so what Maishna, so what does Xeris HaKosas will learn one with the other, and says, and the Ramban shtickle Torah, 3 daggers? No. The Rishonim just say, Rash, Rosh, Kach Mashma Rambam, Shiny Truma. Truma is different. So it's mashma for these Rishonim that be'emes by Challah, there's no 3 daggers. That be'emes, it's taka, there's a special halacha of maisim and a maisim by Truma, it doesn't apply to Challah. And by Challah would be back to the muskal rishon, to the pashup shat. That is, that there's only 2 daggers. There's Reishis Arisai Seichem, like the Rishonim say. That's it. Until Reishis Seichem is garnished, there's no din of anything. You can't be mafresh, you can do whatever you want, mitzad eating it. And then only after Reishis Seichem, which is Gilgul, like the Mishnah says, so then it's that's where the chiyuv starts and begins and ends. So the Gedulei Hektish, in the beginning of Shin Chav Zayin, is ma'ir this point that this is a machlokes Rishonim, and he's medayik from the Lashonis and the Rash. This Rash is quoted by the Ran in Kedusha Daf Samach Beis in the Daf Gemara, but to Daf Samach Beis, the Ran over there in the sugya quotes Pachseus Hashitas Rash, and Sai the Rash and Sai the Ran call the darga of Nesinas Mayim, when they're describing the din of Nesinas Mayim, they call it Tchilas HaGilgul. And the Lashon of the Rashi is that it's Nisarev, and that's also Lashon of Rambam, as we'll see in a minute. So, Ayin Sham, the Lashonis of the Rash and the Ran. Magbas Chalas of the Rash says, Toiv Haya should tamtin ad levasoif, the Gemara really should wait till the end. Tasa Kalisa Goshechad. Elo takana de Rabbanan beisa tohira shetemahera isha lahafish chalasa b'tahara betchilas hagilgul. When you start the gilgul, that's when you should do it. That's the nesinas mayim. But often that it's mashma from the Rash, and he's medayik from the Ran and from some other Rishonim, that the pshat in this Mishnah is that in Chanami there's no middle darga of nesinas mayim. Nesinas mayim is just a description of nesin putting in the mayim, not just on pouring it in, starting to mix it up the mayim with the kamach. Does haste the tchilas hagilgul to start being megalgal. Gilgul Isa, if you've ever been by Matzah Chabura, so that it's a process. It starts out more crumbly and crunchy, and you have to do more and more until it becomes mamish gushecha. So that's the tahalich, the process of Gilgul. But the Nesinas Mayim is not. There's no middle darga. Nesinas Mayim is Nesinas Mayim with Irav Hamayim, with Irav Hakemach B'Mayim, and that is be'emes the Tchilas Gilgul, and that's the Shas Chayv, and that's the Shas Chayv for everything. There's no middle darga. That's when it becomes Chayv as Tevel. That's what Zar Ochel Men is Chayv. And when the Mishnah says Kivin Shina Senes Hamayim, it means the Tchilas Gilgul. Now there's still a Tchilas Gilgul until the Seif HaGilgul, right? Some Rishonim mavur that maybe you should even the Chatchila wait till after the Arichas Halechem, until after you braid it or set up the Challah. So there's maybe a Maila, because there's a Talich of Tchilas Gilgul, Seif Gilgul, but there's no middle darga of Nesinas Mayim. Kach Medayik, that's what the Gedulei Hektish is Medayik from the Rash and the Rambam. He's not Medayik Mitzad L'Shonos of Tchilas Gilgul, but I'm just saying, Hadvarim Mechuvanim, that it's only we find only in the Ramban and the Ritva and the Rashba that are machadish this chiddush of the middle dargim Nesinas Mayim. Only them do we find this whole hashva'ah to Trumas Amaisros, that it's the same thing in 3 dargim Masha Ein Kain. All the Rishonim that the Gedulei Hektish is medayik, that they don't have such 3 dargers. So kach mashma emes b'devreim b'perish Mishnah, where they just say taka. They ask the kasha, what's with Truma? Shiny Truma. Truma's taka different. Yeah.
At the end of the day, Tchilas Gilgul still needs that we have a shear in the 5/4 that we're not still, and it won't cover anything that wasn't Nizgalgal. So we don't really have something called Tchilas Gilgul. Whatever was Nizgalgal was 100% Nizgalgal. There was enough of it.
No, but there's still a takana. There's still a takana. It seems that there's still a maila. This is a good question. Why? There's still a maila to wait till the gemar halisha, till it becomes, like in the stage. But it's had the chiyuv and mirah.
Meaning, even if I already have Tchilas Gilgul on the entire shear and it's not one,
there's still a tzad by truma tameil mashal. We would wait. We wait till the Gemar Halisha. Because there's a milo to wait till the Gemar Halisha. That's what they're trying to move.
Not just because I get all the kemachim?
No, not just because of that, right. That's what I'm saying. I think it's the Sefer Yereim. One of the Rishonim is mavur that there's a milo to wait even after the Gilgul till the Aricha. Meaning stam, to wait till it's mamish at that shlav of Kemat Lechem, right before it goes no.
According to the Rash, if it's just a milo to wait till Seif Gilgul, so why would he say the pasuk that the Yerushalmi quotes, Reish Sitting is an asmachta? Kilo, like it's a big chiddush with the Torah saying maybe it's only.
No, if I care, I think it's a shmak for the Rash. Because the Rash saying
it sounds like he's saying the Torah is chadish.
No, he's saying the Reish Sitting. If I care, if the Rash, if we say like the Rash and the Rambam that it's Nesinas Mayim Tchilas Gilgul and that's just the Chiyuv Challah, what he needs to say is like this. So then to wait from the beginning of the Gilgul till the end of the Gilgul, that Milo to wait, that's not an asmachta ba'alma. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm saying the fact that he had it sounds Yeraisa, and then
yes, maybe there's taka some kind of a chiyuv to wait. Maybe it's a real drush. Maybe it's not a real drush. But the point is that the tzad asmachta is more muvan. The tzad asmachta is that meichetesi there should be a real chiyuv.
Why would the Yerushalmi think we go like it's going only like Rabbi Akiva? There's a real tzad that it's pater. The Yerushalmi is madama that mission of when she puts the water that maybe it's only going like Rabbi Akiva by
what's the machlokes of Yechon Reish Lakish? Okay.
It sounds more like there wasn't really a chiyuv yet. It doesn't sound like it was just machlokes.
That's why there's a mile, you think?
No, that's the Rashi is going to Lamaisel. Maskana Rabbi Yechon Redoicha the hashvat to Rabbi Akiva. Lamaisel.
So what's the mile?
Oh, but he still needs to come up to a chiddush. Why it's chayiv?
It's not even done with Rabbi Akiva. Someone says in the Rishon that means that only Taka Kav got mine on it.
Yeah, there's different ways to learn the Yerushalmi. That's a different shayla.
What is it? It's the mile.
What do the Rishonim mean that it's a milo? Reish Sechem is a kiyum. Like the ikr, so I don't know if it has to be lechem or it's close to the shem lechem. That's a good question. That's what Rishonim will move forward.
I know. It's not over and over again. But what does that even mean? You could think, but the mile is always.
More kind of mitzvah, the shlemus. Okay. Now, the Fizeh, the Gedul Hekdesh says.
Making an Isa that's more kind of Isa. That doesn't make sense. You could say Challah. I can't say Challah. If you want to say Shem is a mitzvah, maybe. I can hear things.
That's what it means. Rachel says the same thing.
It's from the first part of your Isa.
But when I finish,
It's already. Your function works.
Oh, but Hashem did kind of.
Ravid asks on the Rambam, B'tchilas Periches, Rambam says, Emasai mafrish Challah. Kishyitin amayim v'yisar v'kemach b'mayim, mafrish hachallah. So the Rambam says, you know when you should be mafresh chal? The Rambam sounds like he's telling you lechatchila how to perform the mitzvah of mafresh chal. Says the Rambam, right when you put in the water. Frek the Ravid, that's not the way to be mafresh chal. We're supposed to wait. It's b'di'evet. It's only at the end. And fakert, if frek the Ravid, if that would be the chiyuv, if this is the real zman for mafresh chal, so then how could you eat aray? The Mishnah says in Tol Gilgit you eat aray. So my high, the Rambam should not have said it like this. He shouldn't have said that that's when you should be mafresh challah. No, it's b'di'evet. That's a takana for truma tahira. But the emes that's not clear. That's the Ravid time on the Rambam. So the Kesef Mishnah says that the Ravid learned the Rambam wrong. The Rambam didn't mean to say this the ikar mitzvah. He meant like the other Rishonim. The way the Kesef Mishnah learned the pshat in the Rambam is like the other Rishonim. The Rambam didn't mean it's mamish l'chatchil dik away. He just meant that you could be mafresh b'chi agavna. But in a chanami, the ikar chayva is only at the end, and the Rambam is like Shari Shan. That's how the Kesef Mishnah learns the Rambam. Now, he gets stuck, the Kesef Mishnah. Why? Because the Lashon Rambam is, Emasai Mefrishin Challah, and the way the Kesef Mishnah is learning like the other Rishonim in the B'di'evetik way, K'sheyitein hamayim v'yisarev hakemach b'mayim. When you put the water and you, v'yisarev, it gets mixed, you mix it, whatever it is. V'yisarev hakemach b'mayim. Mafresh Challah, mitchilas dover shenilosh. Shenemar Reish Seichem. So the Kesef Mishnah says that's one lashon, and then later when the Rambam is talking about the etzem, the real chiyah, Gilgal. So how does the Rambam describe Gilgal? Me'emasai tischayev oisa b'chala, the real final chiyuv chala mamish tevel. Misha tisgalgal b'chitim v'yisarev hakemach b'mayim. So it says the same thing, and the same lashon overlaps by what the Kesef Mishnah believes to be nesinas mayim and Gilgal. So the Kesef Mishnah says, okay, so there's trey in yonei isarev. He says, even though the Rambam uses that lashon, it must mean two different things in two back-to-back halachas. He says the same yisarev. Tzarech loymar deloy dami, eruv le'eruv. The eruv the reisha, hainu ma'ishmur of me'atzmai. That's yisarev, like Shimon's deal. Al yidei nesinas mayim uvad. The eruv the seifa, hainu ma'ishmur misarev hakemach ima mayim al yidei shemegalga. Because Lamais he does add that lashon of megalga. So the Gedul Hekdesh says, achar. Oh, in a chanami, he avoids that a little bit, ignores that. So Gedul Hekdesh says, achar in a shika safaroi shel Kesef Mishnah. He didn't chap this Rambam because the Rambam's pasha truth mashmol, like he's medayik in the Rash, and like he thinks many Rishonim are a whole, not like the Ramban. And all the Rambam means is like he says, and it's l'chatchila, and this is the proper time to do it. And it's okay that he said it right here because it's not the b'di'evedika thing that it's not chayv. It is chayv. It is tevel. Like the Rambam says. And the middle of the Rambam in Halacha Dalid, who says that's the same darga. It's the same thing. And then the Hemshech of the Rambam, when he says What is that achilas aray? That's only by kemach belvad. Obviously, you don't eat kemach belvad, or just nesinas mayim ba'alma, meaning without a tchilas gilgul. Maybe you could even mix it. I don't know exactly what the gather is, but you could put mayim in the kemach before tchilas hagilgul, and that's what you could eat aray. But there's no three dargas. Zok the gedul hekdesh, and that's pashup pshat in the Rambam. Ubezem misyashev kol ha'aros harayvet in the Gezmish.
So why two halachas?
What?
Why two?
It's talking about two different dinim. One's talking about when you can be mafresh, one's talking about the zachiv isir tevel.
Yeah, but as much as
He
Taka
deals
learns
with it.
that
What?
it's the same time, you don't
Same
have
law.
Yeah, but I'm saying Chazal, I'm saying the Torah is machadish two things. There's one din of when you should be mafresh, and one din when there's a. I mean, the Rambam Halacha Dalet is ultimately coming to tell you when you can eat it until. You can eat aray until here, but when it gets there, and there's two separate dinim. There's the din of Afresh and there's the din of Tevel. So why split it up in a Chanam? That's a ara. That's a shvacher ara than the ara of the Kesem Mishnah, who's like got stuck on the words Yisar B'Kemach. Okay, so Zochinu L'Din that we have a machlokes Rishonim, whether or not we have this new dinyan to Truma, and we have these new three dargas of Kemach, Nesinas Mayim, and Gilgul, L'Umas, Kodim Hava Shlish, Achar Hava Shlish, and Gemar Malacha by Trumas Amaisrus. That's Lefi the Ramban, Rash Baritva, or Shitas HaRambam, and the Rash L'Chayra, that it's just two dargas. Now, the very interesting thing to know is Halacha L'Maisa. Halacha L'Maisa is the Shulchan Aruch quotes Pachzir Lashon Rambam. It's ganz klar, actually. The Machaber quotes that you need Eruv, not just Nesina. And then Ubi Yoiser, this is the bigger pella, is that the Shulchan Aruch, Be'ikvos the Rambam, quotes also the halacha of achilas aray. Oichlam aray mino isa achitis galgal b'chidim isa aray v'kemach. He says the same lashon, meaning he just takes from the Rambam and puts it into Shulchan Aruch. So Hagam that the Kesem Mishnah was matchik b'lashon Rambam, and he learned that it means like the other Rishonim. L'chayr, if he really held like that, he should have been more clear in Shulchan Aruch and not repeated the confusion that the Rambam made. The Rambam caused some confusion by using the same lashon for two different dargis, for Nesinas Mayim and for Gilgul. So the Kesem Mishnah was matchik. He said, okay, it means in. So the Maisa, I don't know if he was Chazar Boy from Shulchan Aruch, but the Maisa in Shulchan Aruch, he quotes the Lashon Rambam, which makes it very much sound like there's a din of Nesinas Mayim Be'iruv, and that is Tchilas Gilgul to Lashon Rambam, and Oichlan Aray is only until that Darga, which is the same Darga of Nesinas Mayim with Iruv, which is Tchilas Gilgul. Well, even that, there's no two Dargas. So did Shulchan Aruch leave it open? Did he mean to say like he said in Kesem Mishnah? I don't know. Well, the Maisa Lashon HaMachaber in Tzif Beis and Tzif Dalet is like Lashon Rambam. Mishigdula Hekdesh is Moichiach, whether you agree with him or not, that like those other Rishonim. And again, it's a big Chiddush b'chol oifin. The Ramban was mamtzi a whole new shtickle Torah, which as we'll see, we have maybe some other smuchim lakach that the Rambam is not masking to the Ramban. But the Ramban was mechadish new shtickle Torah, that there's three dargas and Nesinas Mayim. So Hagam that he boided us from a Mishnah. My point is, it's not a Mefurish Mishnah. And we have to understand how to read the Mishnah for the Rambam. There's no Zeicher and Peish Meshayis from the Rambam that he made up this third darga. So b'oifen that the Gedul Hekdesh Shulchan has smuchim sayin, Shitz Rambam sayin Shulchan Aruch.
Also, Dali says it has to become good.
Yeah. Meaning that's, you can oichlan aray achinasis oichlan aray min isa achis galgal b'chitim sa'ar v'kemach the mayim.
Right before that.
Where are you?
Halacha Dalet, the first 2/3.
You're in Shulchan Aruch or in the Rambam?
Rambam.
Oh, Rambam, yeah. Yeah, it has to become gufecha.
Saying it also Beis is mashmas beautiful.
What? Yeah, there's definitely tchilas gilgul and seif gilgul. What do you mean? Which halach here? Ches Dali? Maybe that's chayiv. Yeah.
You're saying that there's a chiyuv before.
No, I'm asking guf echad. I'm just saying guf echad. That's fakir. Meaning he's learning guf echad means that you can't just pour water in and have this like soupy mess of kemach. I don't know exactly what their kemach looked like. It was a little different than our kemach. Not as fine, whatever it is, but you can't have a soupy mix of water and kemach. You actually have to have guf echad. You have to make tchilas gilgul. Tchilas gilgul is like, in the matzah where they pour in the water and he does a little bit. And it's like kind of crumbly, but it's isa. And then you lush more and more and more and more. It becomes more smooth, uniform.
Half a base, mashma, just you. Use that whole gofecha.
Oh, well, maybe that's when the Timtum part.
Okay.
He switches the Gufecha and then
Okay, I hear. That's the picked up with water. But I'm saying, Lamaisa, we have a tahalich of Gilgal. And Nasa Guf Echad, I hear you're saying Nasa Guf Echad sounds a little bit like the Soifa Gilgal maybe. But Lamaisa, that is what Gilgal is. That's the Malach of Lush. Malach of Lush, even Tchilas Lisha is making it into Guf Echad, meaning Lefiza, minimally, Guf Echad, meaning Tchilas Lisha. It has to at least be Guf Echad. And then you can turn it into an Isa, into Aricha, everything. Okay. Achshav. Now, this halacha, the etzem, is not sin again, to us, because we're not really.
There's one thing. The Pirsha Mishnayos and the Rambam says, Adjet is Galgel, and the Mishnah. Adjet is Arab, Pirshat is Arab. The Tamtim, saying maybe since the Kuvach is only going on the So'irim.
Is that Shaykh in the Rambam?
Yeah. It is Shaykh Tamu.
Oh,
but
yeah,
in
you
the
say it's
Pirsha
going on
Mishnayos, in the Pirsha Mishnayos, it sounds like whatever, but the Pirsha Mishnayos is the Tamtim. Sheidapku Chelkom Kitzasim Ad Shiyugu Vechot.
She's saying Fakir.
It sounds like, yeah.
It's only going on that. So that would be.
Yeah.
Okay. Akapadan, why is it not to halacha l'maisa? Because first of all, we don't have this hakapada of being mafresh early, like the kind of chazal, to avoid truma tmeya. We have truma tmeya anyway. Everything's this raf, and that's what it says in the first Shulchan Aruch, like the Rishonim say that bismanenu you're supposed to wait, do not be mafresh early, and b'derech klal we're not mafresh early, so the church shouldn't be negeh. Ulai efsher, it's negeh to what we discussed a little bit in Sugin Shin Chavtes, the question of being mafresh from a blila raka. That if blila raka is pater mechala, so you can't be mafresh blila raka and hafrasha so ain't hafrasha. So the achreinim done by a blila raka that you're going to bake, which is going to be chayv and challah. When should you take off the challah? So Teres Eretz is medam to this halacha that you see this halacha that by nesinas mayim if you're mafresh ready, so maybe who are in by blila raka, it's just nesinas mayim should be enough. So he's machalik. No, by blila raka, it's not going to end up with a gilgal. There is no gilgal. There's no isa. It's blibing blila raka. Mashenkin here, even though it's just nesinas mayim, it's the tchilas hagilgal memela. So I'm just saying that maybe that whole shtickle Teres Eretz, and that's what Mashmi is learning over there. You only need it lafi the Ramban and the Rashba and the Ritva that there is such a thing called nesinas mayim. Nesinas mayim belvad, and you can compare that to blila raka. Mashen kain lafi the Rambam and the Rash, the whole dimya is b'chal no dimya b'chal. Blila raka is no gilgal. Masha'en came here, when we say nesinas mayim, we mean tchilas gilgal. That means you take the water and the flour and you start being megal. You start mushing it together, and there's the tchilas gilgal. Whether it has to become mamish kofecha, what kofecha, but there's a tchilas gilgal. So maybe there's no dimim b'chal to be rak, which Pasha doesn't have a chalois shem gilgal b'chal. Fine. Now, this machlokes though, I think is a very scientific machlokes. This machlokes, let's call it Ramban and Rambam. Whether or not there's just three dargas, the middle darga of hafrasha of hiktam mishiboilim, of being mafresh after nesinas mayim before gilgal, and it's negeh be'etzem to the next chelik of Shin Chav Zayin, and that is that we find. So we saw the Mishnah in Perek Beis, the Mishnah in Perek Gimel. You cannot be mafresh challah from kemach. That's clear. Nesinas mayim. We have a shayla what that means. Is there a middle darga? No middle darga. Tchilas gilgal, not tchilas gilgal, but zif from kemach znish. So a common makoimus, that's what Shin Chav Zayin, half of Shin Chav Zayin is about, is that you could be mafresh. You could make a maisa hafrasha, hagam that it can't be challah from kemach, but a maisa hafrasha could be done on kemach, and we find that in Shtei Efanim. So the Iker Makar is the Yerushalmi. The Yerushalmi that the Rash brings, Gimel Aleph, and that is that when Isha is lush Isa, maybe after she's nice and mayim, after she starts a gilgul, she starts making gufechot, but very commonly the Yerushalmi basically describes that often there's other pieces of sa'ar and kamach and other types of things floating around, or as the Yerushalmi and the Rash is mazber and the hemshich, or after when she's doing the arichas halacha, very often they have to add in more kamach. Akidikach, sometimes they add in the hemshich hagilgul, they add in a whole new shear. So the hafrasha from the tchilas ha-gilgul, tchilas ha-isa, is not going to be chal on the kemach that was floating around, the other things floating around. So the Rash says, it's okay, make it tonight. She could say, I'm being mafresh now, and the chal is going to be, so she's being mafresh a kosher hafrasha, chal on chal, nesinas mayim, tchilas gilgul, tchilas gilgul, it's isa. So the chal is chal. The chal is chal, it could be chal miyad, but she's masne, that the challah, and the emes says the way the shach and the goyim learn it is chal miyad. I'm making a regular hafrashas challah. It's very important to know. And we're going to get to the shaylas halacha l'maisa, how the different factories and bakeries use these halachas to perform different kinds of hafrashas challah. So it's very important to get these halachas clear. The emes comes out very halacha l'maisa. So the Yerushalmi's case is you're making hafrashas challah. Asher kiddushanu, b'mitzoyis yisonu, hafrash challah and isa, and there's an isa here. There's a full isa, you're mafresh, you make the narvas, there's some leftovers. So the Yerushalmi basically says that what do you do about those leftovers? You're masne. That when those leftover, let's talk about the leftover kemach. The leftover kemach in the areva gets mixed into my isa, it should be chal on that also. So the shach says it could be chal on that also. The shach learns it was chal right away, and somehow that chalois could also be mamshich onto the kemach that comes later. Whether that kemach was in the areva or it's mavur in the rash and in Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch speaks about two cases, whether the kemach that was there or even kemach you take from outside that you add in afterwards. Somehow your Maisa Frasha now, the kemach that's added afterwards is nitpal to this Maisa Frasha, and it works. Now, I just want to make a dagish, and that is in this Rash, and in this Sugya, in this Yerushalmi, no one has any problem with Davar Shloi Balad. Everyone's okay. Kemach is not Isa. It's Davar Shloi Balad. How can you be mafresh on Kemach? You can Maisa Frasha on Kemach. Kemach is a garnish. And no one has a problem, and Kemach we know, mafresh Chalasa Kemach is a garnish, that's a mission. And Afal Pikin here, no one has a problem. And Fakert, the Rash's nidun is, well, what should we do about this kemach that you're pouring in Toich Kadei Daricha? Maybe it should be bottled to the kemach. So the Rash says, no, you see from the Yerushalmi and the Sefta that it's not bottled, and that it could be Chal Chiyav. So that Chiyav is Chal Behemshech, and somehow my Maisa Frasha from right now, which was Chal on my Isa right now, works.
That there's a shir challah in the
Shir Challah, yeah, that's what's mavur. There's a shir challah, and the nidin in the Mishnah is if the leftover is a shir challah. If the kemach left over is not a shir challah, so forget about it. Who cares? Let it get in the sar. It doesn't have a shir challah anyway. But if the leftovers or the stuff you're going to add in afterwards has a shir challah, that's the problem. Al zen nemar, this chiddush, that I can make it tonight that my chalos hafresh now should also go on the kemach, which I'm just pointing out. We'll have to see if this is significant or ma'akev. But the Maisa, the Timtza of the Yerushalmi and of Shulchan Aruch is talking where the kemach that you're adding in is nitpal to the etzem isa that you're making and being mafresh right now. Fine, that's one halacha. Tzeit halacha, which sounds like even a bigger chiddush, and that's not from Yerushalmi, that's just from Yereim. But the Yereim says you could even be mafresh kemach on kemach. How could you be mafresh kemach on kemach? It's garnish mit nish. That's the Mishnah. Kemach and kemach is nothing. Same thing. In Chanami, there's no chalois right now, says the Yereim. And if you try to be mafresh kemach and kemach, it doesn't work with chlal. But says the Yereim, and that's quoted in Shulchan Aruch Seval. But if you make that very same hafrasha, which is garnished, and you say and you have in mind that you're not trying to be meichal l'chala right now, but rather you're trying to make l'chala only lechish and iloishu, when I make it into isa, that works. And the Tanai is kind. Now the Yereim here is where it's in the place. In the place came in, it starts with the Yereim, the problem of, wait a second, how could you marfish kemach and kemach? Harei it's a davar shaloi b'al oilam. So I'm saying, shuv, I want to be madgish, that in the case of Yerushalmi, you don't find that cheshbon. So the Yereim says, no problem, we pass like a relative in Yankee. What's he referring to? Kedushin Samach Beis. Kedushin Samach Beis is talking about the problem by Hafrash Trumas Meisers of being mafresh, mechuber on talish and mechuber. Mechuber is not chayiv in Trumas Meisers. It's davar shaloi b'al oilam. How can you make a ma'aseh hafrash? Something is not chayiv b'chal. If the chi is not here, how are you making hafrash? So the Gemara is mavur that l'kuli alma, not just Challah Yankee, that works because it's biyada. Something that's mechuber, you could easily just snip it and be toilish it. So that's a klal in the chisaron of your Maisa Mitzvah, your Maisa Hafrasha. There's a klal that you can't make. There's a chisaron in the Maisa Mitzvah, in the Maisa Hafrasha of Davar Shaloi Olam. There's a way to be goiver in Lomdus. There's a way to be goiver on that chisaron of Davar Shaloi Olam by saying it's biyada. Since you could easily do it, it's not ma'akiv the fact that you didn't do it. And the Hafrasha works. The Maisa Hafrasha works. It's only going to be chal later when you actually snip it. That's even shittas chachamim. The chiddush of Lazman Yankiv is that even if the peiros were not heviu shlish, right, the earlier dargan where it's mamish not shayach hafrasha, and that's actually not biyodah, you can't make them be goydel shlish right now. And Afal Pikin Yaakov holds that since they're oimid legadol shlish, so you could do the same thing when they'll grow a shlish and you'll be toilish them, it'll be chal. That shittas of Lazman Yankiv. So the Goin points out that we don't pass in the Lazman Yankiv. For some reason, the Yereim, it's not clear what this means, but the Yereim was toilet his din of kemach and kemach under Lazman Yankiv. So if you're toilet in Lazman Yankiv, so then it's not halach. So this is what bothers some achronim, and that's what the Goin is dealing with right here at the beginning. The Goin says it's not true. That no one ever meant, and the Yereim didn't even mean, that this halach is toilet in that sheet of Lazman Yankiv. There's two Goins. The first Goin, the Likut, Ayin Shah. Goin's point is, what does it do with Rabbi Lazman Yankiv? The whole chiddush of Lazman Yankiv to say that even Peiros Shlo Heviu Shlish because not biyadai. Mashenkin over here by kemach al kemach, so it's loy bal oilam, but it's biyadai. Just like it's biyadai litloish to cut the Peiros Mevarim, it's also biyadai lalush to be lush the kemach lefanecha. So it's biyadai, it's not a problem, and it's not totally in chitos of Rabbi Lazar ben Yankiv.
Why did the Yereim say that it's based on
So the Goin has one side. So we'll get to another side. Have another more interesting side. The Goin has a side that in Chanami, and really the Gemara says Yesser al Kain. So maybe really the Reish is also Rabbi Lazar ben Yankiv. whatever, he's doiche.
Use the Ramban's mush.
One second. So you're asking a kasha now, meaning, l'choyer l'fi the Ramban, if it's like lohi via shlish. Again, we're saying that it's okay, the kemach, azoivi it's okay because it's biyada.
Yeah, because I'm
So
not
maybe,
trying to
but l'fi the Ramban, kemach is like koidim shevia shlish. So maybe that's the dimyan, that Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov is the one who says that it works even shlohi via shlish. Maybe kemach is like lohi via shlish. L'choyer that's not a dimyan b'chal. Because the chisaron that Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov was machadish, that you could be mafresh on, is not because of the geder of lohi via shlish, because it's not biyada. And lamaisi kemach is biyada, that's called zemavur b'goyin, and that's why this halacha psuka, Beis Meir went out on a limb on this one, and it's chaylik on Shulchan Aruch, chaylik on Yiraim. He's doiche Makaris. He thinks that it only says mechuber taldish taldish mechuber. Who says mechuber? So the Goyin says lav dafka, and the Goyin actually proves that this halacha. The Goyin is making a dimyon in the Yiraim. He's saying just like you could kisha talosh, kisha yitlosh, just like when you got it huadin kisha losh, when you actually need the isa. So the Goyin points out that dimyon is actually first made not by the Goyin, not by the Ram, but actually by Rabbeinu Tam. And this brings us back to the Tosfos in Nazir Daf Yud Beis, which we're going to see in Shin Chav Ches, that this Tosfos is passed in Shulchan Aruch. So Rabbeinu Tam says that how could you make a shliach for an isha with kemach, give her kemach and make her a shliach to be mafresh shir challah? And we'll see there's a lot of debate about that. Maybe there's other hechatimtzas. Maybe there's zechiyah. The Chazon Ish thinks that Rabbeinu Tam is really a big machlokes rishonim. We'll see. Well, the Tachas Meiser Rabbeinu Tam himself introduces us to this concept, and he says that there's no problem with davar shel olam because it's biyadai. It's biyadai to lush the isa and memela. There's no chesed davar shel olam, and that's what the Goyin says, that we don't need shitas Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Fine. So we have again the chiddush of the Yerushalmi and the Rash al pi the Yerushalmi. That's Sif Beis. And that's a din where you're being lush regular Isa on Isa, and there's leftovers that's being shtupt arayin in the Hemshech. That's the Chiddush of the Yerushalmi. You can be master, that works. And then we have another much bigger Chiddush of the Yiraim, which seems to pose us a much bigger problem with Davar Shel Olam, because Kemach and Kemach is a gun. And the Teretz is it's biyadai. So we don't need it as ben Yankov, and we're fine, and you can make the tonight, and it's going to be chal later. The pratim of how exactly how it's chal later, we'll get back to that. Okay.
Why is it a bigger problem? You keep saying it's a bigger problem. At the end of the day, he's not trying to make any chalois now. I mean, it's a different problem. There.
Let's ask like this. You're making a good point. Is it in fact a bigger problem? So it's mashma in the poskim that it's a bigger problem. Because over here, everyone's standing on hand. What's the Elazar ben Yaakov, davar shel olam, biyadai? Why in the Rash and in Yerushalmi and in Sif Beis for that matter, no one has any problem with davar shel olam? Now, I'll just tell you the facts. The facts are that in Yerushalmi's case, you're not doing a hafrasha, not from a davar shel olam and not on a davar shel olam. Meaning you're doing isa on isa. The one thing you're doing is a chiddush of Yerushalmi. You're being masne that the kemach, which is nitpa later, into this Maisa Frasha, gets Nichlal in this Maisa Frasha. So L'chayr, it's also the same problem. I'm asking. L'chayr, it sounds like the same problem. It sounds like in the Yerushalmi that there's some kind of Maila when you're being mafresh and making a regular Maisa Frasha. And again, the Shach points out, even if your Maisa is Chal now, it's Chal, you're not waiting for the Chalais. That's Machlokes Achronim, but the Shach and the Goyin learn like that. And Sif Beis, the first and the Goyin. Afal Pikin, somehow, the Kemach and the Hemshech HaGilgul is nitpal to that Maisa. It sounds like for some reason that's better than Kedushat Samach Beis. You don't need any Biyada, you don't need that. That's what it sounds like, and I think that's significant. We'll see. Now.
You mentioned before that the question that say that the Indian to take it right away would be if it's tar, that you want it to stay tar, so do it right away. Is there any reason anybody didn't bring it Eitzah to take it Kemach al Kemach? Maybe ask that kasha. The entire thing, concept is you want to keep it tar, so the best way to keep it tar is to
okay, so we'll see. Kemach on Kemach, as we'll see, the marshal according to some Achronim, you actually have to put them back together after his Nidosh. So that would be an Eitzah. Cool.
Fine, but they should have brought this before though. I'm saying that he's a Mishnah should have brought it. According to
I'm saying if L'maisa there's no Eitzah because you have to put them back in the same thing, so maybe there's still Chash to be Nitva. Okay. Now, so there's a Kasha in Achronim. The Beis Meir asked this question. The Pirush on the Yiraim that's in the Ma'amar Kaimis, the Taifas Yiraim, he quotes from the Beis Meir. The Briskerov in his Shurim on Nazir and Daf Yud Beis asks this question, and they're bothered like this. The sugya that the Uraim is going to Chiddush from Kemach al Kemach is the sugya of Davar Shalom B'Olam. So you have Talush, you have Mechuber and Talush, Mechuber, Talush. How could you be mafresh on something Mechuber? The Hafresh is Lo B'Olam because there's no Chiyav here. B'Yada, you could snip it. So it says Rebbeinu Tam, and it says the Uraim, so who adin by Kemach? Frekt B'Ismeir, Frekt B'Skerov, that L'chayra, the Chisaron of Kemach is a much bigger Chisaron than just being Lo B'Olam. Lo B'Olam is a Chisaron that you don't yet have the Chalois Chiyav. So we'll say, since it's B'Yada to make the Chalois Chiyav, so you can do it. But here, they ask, it's not just Chisaron the Chalois Chiyav, it's Chisaron the whole Cheftza B'Chlal. There's no Isa. The Torah speaks about Isa, and there's no Isa B'Chlal. And that you don't find in the Sugya of Dershowitz Olam that we could be misgaber on that Chisaron. Because Talush, Loihi V'Yishlish, that's some Cheftza of Chumas and Isis. Just it's Chisaron in the Chalois Chiyav because you have to snip it, it has to grow a little bit, but it's there. Mashenkin here, you just don't have the same Isa B'Chlal. And the Brisker of his Masbir, this question comes, he understands this question, to come B'nei Obey from that Sugya. Because the Gemara is Mavur, that if it's B'Yada, and B'Yada is an Eitzah for the Dershowitz Olam, so could a person say to the Shifcha, Harei Mekudeshesli, after Meshacher you? Because it's B'Yada to be Meshacher the Evan. And so al atzad that shikhr helps, so it should al atzad that biyada helps, so you could be mekadosh shifcha la'achar the shikhr. So the Gemara says no, even biyada doesn't help for this problem because hasam behema va'achshav das acheres. So the way the Tosfos read is masber over there, mashman some other shaynim, most in the first Tosfos read is that over here it's a whole different cheftza. She was a goy, now she's a yid. So it's a shaylim nachrenim. She wasn't really a goy. She's a shifcha, knainis, chayv miskisha. But Tachlis, the Gemara is mashma, it's a different Cheftza B'Chlal. There's a goyni, so when it's a different Cheftza B'Chlal, so then we have no Eitzah of B'Yada. How does the Eitzah of B'Yada help? That's the question that the Beis Meir is bothered by and the Shkar is bothered by. So Azoi. This brings us back, L'chayra, to what we started with, the Ramban and the Rambam. And it's Etzem Geder of Mitzvahs and Choyvahs and Rosh Hashanah. Because the Ramban, who is Mechadesh, and L'chayra it's Mamish Chiddush, really trying to bring out over here, that it's a very big chiddush to compare Truma to Challah, Gabe, 3 daggers of Havas Shlish, after Havas Shlish and Malacha, to Kemach, Mesinas, Mayim, and Gilgal. And the reason being, like we pointed out, that L'chayr, the only Chisaron, by Kodim Havas Shlish, after Havas Shlish, Kamar Malacha, is just Tnaim. There's a Tnai in the Chayvash Trumas Maestros, that's Chal and Tvus Aretz, and Chal and the Gidulei Karka, that has to be a certain size, a certain amount, a certain whatever. So, how could we compare that to Kemach? Kemach is B'chal, the whole thing doesn't start. Similar to what the Achronim here are asking on the Uraim. What's Kemach? Kemach is Sama Gardish. Torah says Reish Yisseichem. That means before that there's no chayv. So what's mashma from the Ramban is that there is a chayv. What's mashma from the Ramban is that the Iker chayvas and mitzvahs challah is be'etzem on Tuas Aretz. It's on the Kemach. It's on the Tvua that grows from the ground. And the Torah says the only time we're mechal that chiyuv is Kishati Loishu. Is Reish Yisseichem. But the Shirish HaChiyav is be'etzem on the Gedulei Karka. Ukimavur, Berashi, and many Rishonim, Rashi and Kedushin Lamed Zayin, that Challah is from Mitzvah Tluyis Ba'aretz. So, it's mashma from the Ramban that the mashmos of Mitzvah Tluyis Ba'aretz is Pshutika mashmo. Now, in a Chanami, there's a Tanai that has to be Reish Yisseichem, and in a Chanami, Koidim Havas Shlish, Koidim Nesinas Mayim, you try to be Mafresh Challah, it won't work. But not because the Etzem Shirish HaChiyav is not there, the Shirish HaChiyav is there, because that's on the Kemach and the Chal. U'me'idoch, it would sound like Shitas HaRambam. It would be like the Pashtus. That, like the Rishonim say, the Mefarshim Mishnayos, the Rosh, this Taka no Shaychas. Correct, the Rishonim, why is Challah different than Truma? Truma can be Makta B'Shivam. It's like the Rishonim, shiny Truma is Gzeres HaKosav. Whatever goes on by Truma is not Shaykh to Challah. So Zok the Rambam and the Rash, and these Rishonim, that because the Taka is no Shaychas. The din of Koidim Hava Shlish and the din of Makdim Mishibolim, even after Hava Shlish, is all din in Trumas Maisis, which is Chayvus Karka, which is a Chiv, which is Chal on the Gidulim. Mashain Kain, Zok the Rambam, by Challah, before, you can't compare that to Trumas Maisis, before the Reish Yisseichem, before the Gilgal, before Nasinas Maim and the Gilgal, for the Rambam, same thing. So nothing gets started, there's nothing to talk about. So there's no dinyan, it's not Shaykh B'chal Mitzvahs Hafrosh's Challah. And that is Be'emes the way Reb Chaim, like we spoke about way back the first year, that's the way that Reb Chaim learned the Rambam in Trumas Aleph Chav Beis. That the Reb Chaim was bothered, Shitas Rambam, the Rambam says a Chiddush. The Rambam says that if you bring Teres, Tvua, from Chutzlar, Eretz Yisrael, and you make a Mar Malacha here, it's only Chayv in the Rabbanah. Mashenkin by Challah, the Rambam's mashma that if you bring tvua from Kemach, from Chutz La'aretz Yisrael, it's Chayv min HaTorah. So Reb Chaim is whole big aricha is trying to understand what's the chiluk. And ultimately, Reb Chaim's mechadish this chiluk that the etzem pachzirsa, what he seems to be saying is that Trumas HaMaisros, it's totally in the Gidul. It's totally in the Gidul Mitay Haaretz. So Mela, anything that grows in Chutz La'aretz is already hafka from the Chiyah. So it can only Chayv Midrabah. Mashenkin Challah Zok has nothing to do with growing from the ground. The Chayva of Shama means it has to be in Eretz Yisrael b'shas Chiyah. That's a Tanai that Torah made on this mitzvah, but it has nothing to do with growing in Chutz La'aretz, growing in Yisrael. Mela, to do in the Kemach. Fine. So that's how Reb Chaim's learning Pshat in the Ram. That's Bachal, not even mitzvah Tluis B'aretz Kemat. And that's what Sefer HaMakna says. We mentioned Shaita. Udloi Kemashma Mirashi and Taisus and Kedushin. That Be'emes it is mitzvah Tluis B'aretz. So Be'emes is, I don't know if it's totally Bozeh, but the Chazon Ish and the Gilyonis is Taka Chaylik on Reb Chaim. And he says, Avadi, you can't say that Chayvas Challah has nothing to do with the Gidol Mitay Charetz. He quotes Lashon Rashi and Kedushin. It's mitzvah Tluis B'aretz. So it can't be mitzvah Tluis B'aretz if it has nothing to do with growing from the ground. And his Iker Raya is from the din of Chodesh and Yashan. That the Mishnah says, the Mishnah is not really 100% clear, but there is a Mishnah, Daled, that seems to imply at least, that you can't be mitzaref Chodesh and Yashan because maybe you'll come to be Torah Mizal Zeh. So Zok the Chazon Ish, what does Chodesh and Yashan mean? It means the tvua from one year, tvua from another year. But what does that have to do with Challah? The tvua that grew one year, you can't be determined the tvua that grew this year. What does growing have to do with anything? Maybe if you're Neelish at one year, you can't be mafresh on Challah, you're Neelish a different year. What does growing have to do with anything? And if this halacha applies, which Pshuta does, it's Pshuta halacha in Shulchan Aruch, Shin Chav Dalet Tzivches, that Chodesh and Yashan, you can't be mafresh mizal zeh. So that is a din in the Gidol. So Zok the Chazon Ish, that's a Raya Gedoylo.
It's Xavier is from Truma, no?
Oh, it's a Gzeira that if we let them be mitzdaref, you'll be mafresh mizal zeh. You'll be Torah mizal zeh. Torah what? So the pashtus is they're going to be Torah mineu bezal zeh, and you cannot be Torah from Challah on from Challah's Chodesh, Challah's Yashin, Yashin Chodesh on 2 different years. That's the pashtus. So the Chazon Ish says it's a big raya against Reb Chaim, and that la'olam it is mitzvah Tluis B'aretz. So before we get back to the Chodesh Yashin thing, I'm just saying this is it's mashma from this machlokes Rishonim that was nechlaku. And Be'emes is the Ardiyukim. Sefer HaMakna over there in Taisus and Kedushin. Kitain is Be'emes. It's not. Kitain is machlokes Bavli Shal. Maybe it's not mitzvah Tluis B'aretz. There seems to be a machlokes Rishonim whether or not it's Be'emes Mugdar Ke mitzvah Tluis B'aretz in this mivchan of being totally in the Gidol. And it's mashma that's what's going on here. That the Ramban is saying, what's the problem? Challah Truma, same thing. Hava Ashlish, Kodim Ashlish. So Kemach is also Kodim Ashlish, but it's shaykh to the parsha, which was missing certain Tanoim to be Chayiv and Challah L'maisa. Mashayk in the Rambam sounds like Reb Chaim was mazbeh the Rambam that has nothing to do with the Gidol, nothing to do with Tluis B'aretz. Me'az like the Rambam, mitzvah Challah does in no way, shape, or form get off the ground until Reish is to Seichem, until there's Gilgal, and that's why there's no even Shlav to see in his mind. That's to be Gilgal Isa in order for it to be Chayiv. Now, Chodesh and Yashan, the emes there's a tzad. And I was just telling some of the Abrechim. So it's taka not mefurish this prat. I don't want to go into the details of Chodesh and Yashan now, but if you look at that halacha, it's taka not mefurish. Bottom line is, it's not mamish mefurish that you cannot be Teirim mi-Chodesh and Yashan, Yashan Chodesh. Go mashma like that, look in Shin Chavdal Tzivches, in the Shach over there, it's mamish like that. L'maisa, they did find the Taisus and B'chayris, the Turiev and Rosh Hashanah Daf Tetzvav, seems to imply that you could be Teirim from Yashan and Chodesh, Chodesh and Yashan. It's a Shaila. B'chayra, it would be reasonable to think that it should be Tali Bozeh. That Lefi the Ramban, it makes perfect sense, Chodesh and Yashan. It's mitzvah Tluis B'aretz. Kodim Hava Shlish is just a tribe, it's telling the Gidol, like the Chazon Ish Taina. Mashenkin Lefi the Rambam, L'chayr would make sense to Taina, like some Achron did Taina, it sounds like, that Chodesh and Yashan, no Shaykh is to Challah, and there's no problem with being Torah Mizal Zeh. The only problem is Tziruf Atu Chumas and Maisros. So what's the Achronim's Kashan's whole din? The whole din of the Yereim. They can mavish kemach kemach, and it's not a problem of olam because it's biyadoi. Correct? Achronim base meir b'skrav. What do you mean? It's not. There's no chefts of Chiyav Challah. There's no chefts of Isa. So lefi the Ramban, it's move on. Lefi the Ramban, the chefts is here. Which chefts are tvua kemach? The ikar choivas Challah is mitzvah tluyis b'aretz Rashi Lamed Zayin is on the kemach. Is on the tvua. You don't have it tonight. It's mamish azoivi koyim haba shlish. The chefta of the chiyav is here. It's and just like haba shlish is a tonight, arisa seichem is a tonight.
Take on chitim. What's that? We take on chitim. Or chitim would be the same exact meaning. If a tonight works by kemach, it would work by chitim also. There's no difference.
Again, there is a chisarn of davar shel olam, it has to be biyadai. So you're saying it's biyadai to grind it.
It's too far.
Maybe that's too far, but I don't know. I don't know of any such agbolas. So that's good Lafi the Ramban. Now, but how are we going to understand Lafi the Rambam? If Lafi the Rambam there is such a shita, and that's the Pasha of Shulchan Aruch, that there is no shaykhis tavar shlish, and you need Reishis to Sechem, you need Gilgal. So then we're back to this question: how could you mafresh from Isa? Very nice, not davar shel olam. There's no Isa. So, Imishum Ha, if we're just talking theoretically, the Rambam never said the Yiraim is din. The Rambam never said you could take Kemach and Kemach. Kemach and Kemach is a Chiddush of a Yiraim. Which is the crowd of Paskin Shulchan Aruch, it's halacha psuka, I'm not ma'arid, Beis Meir was ma'arid on this halacha. But, so is the Rambam maskin? I don't know. Now, that's what I'm saying, what I mean theoretical is because halacha l'maisa, it's very clear that the Shulchan Aruch, the Beis Yosef is quoting in this whole siman Shittas Rambam, and Lashon Rambam, and you see the Poskim did not see a steer between Shittas Rambam and the Chiddush of the Yiraim. So, okay, so Al Zen Nemar.
It brought it as if it's no highlight.
Right,
Like
it's just a Shita and a Chanami. Okay, so what I'm saying is, Lafi the Ramban, the Kol Pachos, Teretz is Mamish Kishmak. That the Choyvas Chal is Takachal, Be'etzim, B'mahus, B'yisoyer on the Kemach and on the Tvua, and that's how we'll answer the question. Lafi the Rambam, we'll have Terutzim. Shari Terutzim, Loinin Alu. What's the Kasha? What's the grace of Kasha B'Skrov? That he learns from the Gemara, the Mdas Acheres, that by a Shifcha, that's a different Hefza. So there's a lot of rate about that line in the Gemara. What exactly does that mean? She's a different Hefza. I mean, she's the same person. If a character, Achrein Bother, that she's Betzim, she has Kedushas Yisrael. She's a Shifcha Kanadi. She has Tavel, Shem Avdus. So maybe Das Acheres is a different type of Chisaron. It's just a Chisaron Klapi Kedushin, because she does a Das of a Goy. So it's not a problem Klapi the Chalois, it's a problem Klapi the Maisi Kedushin. I saw one Sefer be Machalik. A Shifcha is not Oymid L'Shtachrer. She's not Oymid L'Kach. So maybe that's considered totally Mufka, not, and it's worse concern than Loy Bal Olam. Mashenkin Kemach, it's not a Chefza Acheres. I mean, that's what Kemach is all about. You grind up wheat, you make Kemach. Kemach is always Oymid to be Nilosh and become Pas. So we'll have different Tirutzim, even Lafi the Rambam, that we're saying a sheet is a Rambam that there is no Shaykhis to Truma, and the Chiv is only Maskal Mitchilas Hagilgol. And Afal Pikein, the Yiraim could still be true, and it's even though it's a Davar Shalom, but since it's Oymid to be Nilosh and Lamaisa, it is Biyadoi Lalush. So Memela we could be Mekayim Bein Shitas Rambam Lahalacha, and Meidach Kisa still be Mekayim Shitas HaYiraim Lahalacha.
Stam Kemach is Oymid L'Tvila Avon?
Yeah, the past just Kemach says want to make bread. I think so. It's certainly also aimed for that. Maybe not exclusively aimed for that, but it's not like a shifcha. Like Mechitesi, you're going to be Meshach Shivin. Allowed to Meshach.
Once I want to Mekadesh you, then you are, no?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Mahus, not because you, the Mikra, decided that you're going to be Meshach.
That's when the other is. That's when it's not.
No, I'm not being talking about the Biyoda. I'm saying a different idea. That the Gemara seems to say here it's Gorat Tvei. That even Biyoda doesn't help because she's like totally like no shaykhs. So maybe that's because not Oymid. It's like similar to the idea of okay. We find such an idea. Oymid Lagazis Kagazis, so maybe Oymid Lalush is Kinilush. Okay. So that's the Seidah Dvar I wanted to bring out. Very, very chashuv the Seidah Shiloh about that what we mentioned. About the Shoyish of the Chiv versus Challah. It's a Tuis parts, not Tuis parts. And with Gabe this din of Frashas Challah Minasina and the Tanai of Kemach al Kemach. Now. Lamaisa, this din of Kemach, as we said, it's halacha psuka, it's not Shulchan Aruch. So, like we said, not by Nesinas Mayim, and Kemach is b'derech klal, not really Senegel halacha Lamaisa, but right, we're not being mafresh Kemach and Kemach because we have everything's tummy anyway. We're waiting for them. We're not making any tonight. Lamaisa, the din of tonight is yes Negel halacha Lamaisa. Now, so let's just point out one thing. One of the halachas, the prate halachas, Shulchan Aruch is very selsom. Yiraim is very selsom. He just says you can make this tonight and Shalom Yisrael. So it's very not clear. L'mashal, when would you make the bracha on such a frasha? When you take the Kemach off, or do you have to wait till it actually comes Nilash, till the Chalos? So the Mikdash Ma'at and Shin Chav Ches, we'll see a little more Shin Chav Ches, more about the bracha, and Shlichas, we'll see more then. But the Mikdash Ma'at says that Avada and Avada, you have to make the bracha when you do the Hafrasha, because in general, always, Birchas HaMitzvahs are on a Maisa Mitzvah. Not on a Kiyum HaMitzvah, and not on a Chalois of the Mitzvah, but on the Maisa Mitzvah. So if we're saying that this Maisa Mitzvah is a kosher Maisa Mitzvah, so you make the bracha now, Hagam that the Chalois comes later. The Mishnah says Chalois is something, it's Bamei Elov, just Nasis Me'elov, that's going to be the Kiyum of the Mitzvah, the Chalois of the Mitzvah, but not the Maisa Mitzvah. And that's why when you move into a house that has a mezuzah up, you're being Mekayim a Mitzvah for the first time ever, but you don't make a bracha. That's how we pass it anyway. It's a machlokes. You don't make a bracha. Why? Because even though you're getting a kiyama mitzvah, it's not exactly chalois, but you're getting a kiyama mitzvah. There's no ma'isa mitzvah. Bracha is pashas on the ma'isa mitzvah. Okay, so Ayin Sham, there's a Shevet Alevi has a pickbook. Al Pi Sefer Beis David. Yesh Mefakfim, but that's a mikdash matayim. So, what's that?
See on Nero's Chanukah also, that's not a bracha. We don't wait till half an hour to make the bracha.
Yeah, that's called.
No, they say it's not they say, but you could.
Okay, so 1 second. So my point is that this whole discussion of the Yereim, and we're being given the din of Davar Shloim La'olam, and we're trying to figure out how it could be Chal B'Chlal, Maisa Hafrosha and Kemach, but that, the bracha I think just brings out the point. You're making a Maisa Hafroshas Challah. That's what you're doing with Kemach. As shocking as it may be, you're being Mafresh Challah Minu Isa. You're doing it by the Kemach, but that is the Maisa Hafrosha. So, and that brings us to the question of the other Mikdash Ma'at, which that is big Chiddush. The Mikdash Ma'at says, so very nice, you're Mafresh Kemach and Kemach, and then later it has to be Nilush, to be Chal. It can't be Chal, that's Nilush. You go in your Nilush, your little Kemach, and you Nilush your big tub of Kemach, and now you have your Challah and your Isa. Says the Mikdash Ma'at, but now what? That little Challah, how could it be Chal L'Shem Challah? It's a little matchbox of Challah. On the little matchbox of Challah, there was never a Mukaf, and there was never a Tziruf. It never had a Chalois Challah. In order to have a Chalois Challah, we have two Tanaim. It has to be Nilush, but we know, Reish Shir Sisechem, Oimer La Gul Goylas, where's the Mukaf, where's the Tziruf? So the Mikdash Ma'at says, Enechanami. You actually have to take that little piece of Challah, after it's Nilush, and make a Tziruf Sal with the big Isa. And otherwise, Taka, the whole thing's not Chal. That's the Mikdash Ma'at's Chiddush, and he says, Rav Pashal, let us from quote that Chiddush. The Sefer Piskazuta, so he tainas that Stimas HaPoiskim is obviously not mash like that. I mean, the Shulchan Aruch just said, Lichesh and Nilush, and you're obviously mafresh, usually we try to keep Challah away from the Isa. So you have your Challah, your Nilush that, your Nilush the Isa, doesn't say anything about putting it back together. So, Zok Der Avada, you don't have to put it back together. And the Oilam, everything goes in Mafreya. And he proves that from the other Mishnah, Dal Dal, of Mafresh from a Kav, and then you add the Shir, Ayin Sham. But the point is, he says that the Mais HaFrosh is the Mais HaFrosh Gemurah. And the Chazon Ish, I brought the Maramokam here in the Likutim in Zroim. So the Chazon Ish has a tzad. The Chazon Ish is talking about the Din Mukaf. So the Chazon Ish says, where's the Mukaf? The Chazon Ish says the Mukaf is in the Kemach. Since Azoi Vi, that in the Kemach, we have an Eitzah that it's not considered Davar Shaloi Ba'Lo'olam because it's Biyadai. That same Biyadai that makes it Ba'Lo'olam also makes it Min HaMukaf. The Efshir, the Gam Negias Kemach Mahani, Kim L'Chashiv Davar Shaloi Ba'Lo'olam. That's in Likutim, Daled Vav. So Yish's topic was that. First of all, the Mikdash Ma'at has a point. Very nice by the Ma'is HaFrosh, you'll say you had some kind of mukaf, but the Chalois Chiyav only comes with Elisha. And the same din of Arisa Seichem, which requires Elisha, Arisa Seichem, that's exactly where we learn the Shir from. So maybe B'Shas the Chalois Chiyav, a Chiyav cannot be Chal, also only on a Shir, an Isa and an Arisa Seichem Deki Isa, which is the Shir of Ayla Gogolas. You had a Shir.
As much as you didn't have the Iker Tnai of the Isa, so all of a sudden you need this.
So that's the question. The question is it enough to have the Shir B'Shas the Ma'is HaFrosh? And I'm asking about the Kosher Ma'is HaFrosh, and that seems to be the Piskos.
No, let's say even afterwards. But you have it, just like you now only
No,
have the Isa.
you don't have it on the Challah, Mikdash Ma'at asks. The Challah is Chulin. I'm Nilash a little piece of Challah, it's Chulin. The Challah itself is by itself, so it's Chulin. So, the Chayr, the Magam Challah is no. That.
Or shame on it.
What?
If Kriya Shame works on that.
Oh, right. So, in economic, and I think that's the Pashtus. The Piskos Zuta is saying the Pashtus, that the Kriya Shem was a Ma'is HaFrosh, it was a Kriya Shem, it was Chal. The Afal PK, I think there's a point to be made here, and that is Hagam, that you don't have to put the Challah after your Nilosh back into the Isa. You do not have to. It can stay over there because it's Kriya Shem and it's Shem Challah. All you need is Arisa Seichem, which come Isa. And I do think that, I only think, I'm not sure. I do think that the Isa itself has to be a Shir B'Shas Delisha. Because if you're going to split up the Isa B'Shas Delisha, then picture what's happening. You have a person who has Kemach, and he makes 10 different batches with no tziruf, and no neshicha, and no tziruf sal, and it's Chayv and Challah. That's pater from Challah. So instead of being mafresh from Kemach and making eitzahs and working backwards, I have a better eitzah, just don't do anything.
Did your Kriya Shem still work?
Exactly.
In that case?
It's still different.
It's like
in
your
that case.
Why? Because you're Koresh.
Yeah.
And
It's Kriya Shame and the rest. That's one Isa. When you make 10 different Isas,
So then.
Oh yeah. You're saying it's different than the challah lu'umas a big.
No, in your case,
No,
so you
same.
split it up into 10.
Yeah, and then you were lush before the lisha.
Yeah.
And you were lush 10 different things.
Yeah, that's different than one Isa that you're calling the Chulin, and one
That's pachot
Isa that you're saying is Chal.
When the chulin has a shear.
No.
it doesn't.
The only thing that's missing from the shear is the challah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
That's what
different.
he's saying. The only thing that's missing is the challah as opposed to 2 doughs plus the challah.
Okay, yesh falpos that, fine. And zikr is different than if you have a complete shear and the challah. But I'm saying
You see
could
that-
be.
you see
Yesh
that
falpos.
from the
I'm just
Rashi
pointing
that
out like this.
Rashi
I'm saying a more pasha chilik. That clearly this case of 10 different loaves is different than the challah itself. Midrash Rabbah was bothered by the challah. So I think that challah is the part that you take off of the arisa seichem. When you have arisa seichem, you take it off. So you're saying that in a chanami can be chaser at least the shir challah, but the shir challah is mashu. It's going to be chaser mashu.
Whatever you encourage in. Whatever you encourage in.
Okay.
You can take as much as you
Yesh
want.
l'ayim, was that? Yesh l'fakvik, was that? But either way, my point is you can't stop split up the shear into 5 different isas. Because l'chayra, and this is the Pashmi Svar, the Yereim wasn't looking for a way to be mechayev enu chalois chi of challah. He was looking for a way to pater you from challah, to be makdim your hafashas challah for something that's memela going to be chayev. What's memela going to be chayev? When you make a shear isa. So I just want to mention for 1 minute. I tried to get it clear. It's very not clear to me the way all these major factories and businesses. There's a problem in these major factories, specifically in Chatzlaris, I think. More eights than Chatzlaris. We're going to see about that in Shulchan Gimel. So what do? They can't have a mashkiach sitting there in this huge factory mafresh 15 times a day. So they use our simon, Shin Chav Zayin. They take some tevel, make tevel, a big thing of tevel, and make it a matzah, because matzah just lasts. They put it in the room with the machine where this thing is making thousands of things a day. And the mashkiach comes in the morning, he says, this little box of tevel, every shear challah, let's say every 15 minutes a shear challah is being made by this machine. Every shear challah, every time an alisha is made over here, a little bit of this matzah should be challah on that huge isa. And that goes on for like a few months until they make a cheshbon, until it runs out, and then they switch it. So there's other problems, like that's what I was mentioning before, the problem of chadash and yashin and chadash. It becomes very problematic with chadash and yashin, where it's coming from, which year it's coming from. And that's why that was Bemis Rebelsky's Eitzat OU. He's like, Chadash and Yashin, Chal Chilsars. He just threw away the whole din, which is Chiddush Atzim. We'll see more about that when we get back to Chadash and Yashin. But Al Kapanim, does this work? If he Pashit, Pshat, and Simon, this whole Mahalach. So, I don't know, because it doesn't seem to fit with any of the dinim we have. Meaning, it's not a Pashit application of any halacha Shulchan Aruch. Shin Chazayin Aleph is the Yereim. The Yereim says, you have dough, you have
The
kemach.
tevel they have is a shear?
What?
The
The tevel they have is from a shear.
It's from a shear.
So it's tevel gomer, but it's no longer a shear. Fine. The Yereim has a Maisa Hafrasha that's working because you're being mafresh challah l'fanecha. The Loibal Olam, it wasn't mitbashel yet, it didn't get to the shlav of Isa. So that's biyada. This Hafrasha that this guy's making, so there's some kind of Hafrasha that he's saying now, it should be chal, let's say, for the next week or however long it's chal. They're bringing in a whole new, the kemach, they didn't have the kemach there.
The Talmidim by the Rebbe saying, he said, go by for the next month. That also didn't come to the
Go by what for the next month?
The Yereim has an extension there, or
Not the
it
Yereim.
says, in the base Yosef, he brings it and he tells the Balabas to go, I'm making you shliach for the stuff that you're going to buy from the store later.
That's not kemach. That's not kemach. That's
You're
dough.
going to buy the kemach later.
1 second. Let's just get straight to Shulchan Aruch. So Shulchan Aruch Sif Beis, we're out of time. In Sif Beis, and I think that's more where they're coming from. We do have a din in Sif Beis, and that is the Yushalmi and the Rash that say when you make a Ma'aseh Hafrasha, even the kemach that's being added in afterwards, new kemach being added in afterwards, this Ma'aseh Hafrasha can be chal on that later. And that's Pachsus of what they're trying to say is chal over here. My point is though that there's 2 dinim in Sif Beis. One is where all the kemach is there, and you make a Ma'aseh Hafrasha and it's chal on that, and the Chiddush Noisov is even challah added in. And let's say that challah added in is even challah comes from outside. Could we, simply speaking, apply that to this case? Tzarachin. Maybe yes, I'm not sure. Yesh l'ayim is a tuva. But tzarachin, why? Because again, in that simin, in that sif Beis, there's no discussion of davar shlo b'olam. There's a din that I'm making a Ma'aseh Hafrasha. It's chal right now, my Ma'aseh Hafrasha. I do a proper Ma'aseh Hafrasha. Zeh al zeh. It's a Ma'aseh Hafrasha. And anything that gets added into that Isa, into that Afiyah, is tafel. It becomes a chelik of that hafrasha. The achronim are very bothered. How does the shach work? It's chal now. How could that chalois challah be mamshech onto the isa, the kemach's add later? But it works. But everything is nitpal and becomes a chelik of one ma'is hafrasha. Mashikin over here, I don't think you made any ma'is hafrasha. I don't know what you did. You just put tevel here. You said, I would really like for this tevel to be hafrasha on new isas that come in and are just stand there over here. When that new isa comes in and it's made tevel, where's the ma'isa? We need a ma'is hafrasha challah. So all we find in Chazal is that you can make a ma'isa frasha and be mastant the chalois should come later. That's the Yiraim. Or that the chalois could be chal on kemach that becomes nitpal to this isa. But to stam just put on like a Shabbos clock, and you're not doing anything right now, you're just putting a box of tevel down. So you put a box of tevel, right, let's say for the day's challah you can be mafresh on whatever, but then that stuff goes out. They bring you new kemach, a new isa. So I'm not sure if there's any ma'isa frasha b'chal. Could you be masna that in a year from now there should be a ma'isa frasha? No, you have to. The whole chiddush of this image is you have a ma'isa frasha with a chalois later. Over here, tzarech ian. I'm not sure I understand fully their mahalach. I'm still looking into it. I'm asking one question.
Going, but also where is the ma'isa frasha?
That's the ikar question. Keeping going, I have no problem with keeping going. You know, whoever adds more kemach. The point is there any? Do we have any precedent that I put down a box of tevel? There's nothing happening here, and when I make a new isa over here, that's going to be tevel. And we have two tevels, so then it's automatically nishave challah. But I'm not just chasher l'chayr chalois. I'm also chasher the ma'isa frashas challah tzarachin.
The Ramban when he's finding the Dama